Hey everybody, Demon Dominoes here, and this video is a SummerSlam review. First and foremost, I would like to say this. Amazing pay-per-view. This legitimately might be the best pay-per-view just in Triple H's entire time running WWE. I won't say it was better than WrestleMania 40, but like, if you do say that, I literally do not blame you in the slightest. Like, a few of my friends agree that it is. So, like I said, if you think that this pay-per-view is the best pay-per-view since Triple H took over, which, if we're being real, would probably be the best pay-per-view in like a decade, then I don't blame you. So what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be going through all of the matches individually and in order. So starting with Liv versus Rhea, then going on to Sami, Bron, Logan, LA, Bayley, Nia, Drew, CM Punk, Priest, Gunther, Cody, Solo. But then at the end, after I do Cody versus Solo, I'll be going into the Roman return. Because I feel that does in itself deserve a little bit at the end, just to talk about how, I mean, honestly, pretty big it is. So starting off with the first match, Liv versus Rhea, I gotta say, it's not the best match on the card, but it was pretty solid. By the way, I'm just gonna say this now, there is not a single bad match. There was not a single bad match. Like, every single match was pretty fucking good and had some amazing story going into it. Well, Bayley versus Nia didn't really have much story, but it was a really good match either way. And the benefit of that, I'll go into that later. I'm not gonna get into that. But Liv versus Rhea, amazing match with, oh my gosh, that turn from Dom, man. As a Mexican, I'm like, man, he's making us look bad. But man, Dom, oh my goodness, I love the way they did it too. They had a bait and switch moment where Dom grabs the chair Rhea's about to use on Liv. He's like, no, don't hit her, you're gonna get DQ'd and you have to pin her to win the belt. And then later on, after the Oblivion, Dom's there helping Liv, and you're just sitting there like, no way, because Dom accidentally helps Liv, but then he turns around and you see the biggest smile on his face, and you're like, oh my god, he's with Liv, he's helping Liv. And then match ends, the two Oblivions, and then Dom goes, picks up Liv, and they kiss and walk away together. And just the last shot of the match with Rhea just laying down there, tears coming out her face. She just looks so defeated in every sense of the word. And it's one of the most, I'd say, impactful moments of the night, just watching Liv take Dom, her Latino heat, away from her after all this time and after everything she did for Dom. It was cinema, and I'm gonna be throwing that word out a lot because I'm gonna say this might be my favorite pay-per-view of the year. I'm in the crowd that says this might be the best pay-per-view just period in the last good while. Oh man, but Dom, I can't believe it, man. I can't believe it, Dom. Man's got Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, and a wife at home. This shit ain't fair. This is the greed that Kendrick was talking about, man. Someone needs to drop a diss track on Dom, because that's insane. But I will say, after that, this segment with Damian Priest coming in angry and looking for Dom, ready to kick his ass. And then the other members of Judgment, they're like, hey man, calm, take it easy. And Priest grabs Finn, and you're like, oh shit, because there's a lot of theories going around like Finn might cost Priest. And when Priest grabs Finn in that moment, you're like, whoa, he actually might turn on him tonight. And he did. Dom and Finn both turned. We'll talk about Finn's later on towards the end of the video because it was the second to last match on the card. But damn, what a story! The Judgment Day. I feel like people have recently been more giving them their flowers, but once this is really all said and done and the dust is settled, everyone's gonna be like, wow, Judgment Day might be a Hall of Fame faction because it did its job. It brought up Damian Priest to the main event. It made basically a certified legend out of Rhea because everything she's done, fucking amazing. It's helped Dom go from Rey Mysterio Jr. to his own character. It had a... Well, for Finn, like, he kind of became Finn Balor, but it showed that he has good character range. JD McDonough, while not there for a while, has won the tag team titles with Finn, and he's also shown a lot of, like, himself. He's gotten more eyes on him. And he's over as a heel. People hate him. That's his job. So, you know. And then Carlito, well, he wasn't there long. He was just funny, man. Get Carlito his PS5. I'm gonna flash a PS5 on the screen for just PS5 for Carlito. Hashtag Carlito PS5. So, anyways. Before I go on even more of a tangent, I'm going to end that part there, and we're going to go on to Sami Zayn versus Bron Breakker. So, let's get into that. Okay, so from this point on, I was pretty deep in the alcohol, because I was drinking during the pay-per-view, but I remember it for the most part. So, Sami Zayn versus Bron Breakker, I gotta say, the weakest match of the night, but that I guess kind of was in a way by design. It was kind of how I called in another video that I have dropping soon, where I said Bron Breakker is going to squash Sami Zayn a la Brock Lesnar versus John Cena at SummerSlam. And so, actually, was that at SummerSlam? I'm gonna flash up what the actual pay-per-view was. If I look like an idiot, I look like an idiot. It's whatever. But I thought it was going to be like that match, and it was. So, Bron Breakker is now the IC champion. That is a very big W, and the belt looks really good on him. I actually genuinely really like him with the belt, and he deserves it. Dude is a legitimate freak of nature. He's an amazing wrestler, a pretty damn good promo. He just has that aura of like, whoa, whoever's going against this guy, you are fucked. You are not winning that match. And Sami didn't win the match. Bron Breakker's gear was kind of goofy, not gonna lie, but I mean, I'm not gonna tell that to him. You tell him that. You tell him you said that. I'm not getting my entire rib cage exploded and turned into dust. Anyways, there was like a lot of... It was kind of 50-50, but again, for the most part, it really was just Bron going to town and kind of destroying Sami. I really liked the opening sequence though, where they both counter each other's finishers. Bron off rip goes for a spear. Sami dodges, hits the ring, or Bron hits the ring post. And then a little bit later, Sami goes for the haluva kick. Bron moves, and then he counters himself. It was a very nice sequence, and if any match was gonna get cut time, it was gonna be this one, because you have the out of, oh hey, Bron Breakker can just, I don't know, kill Sami Zayn, and they did. To be fair though, honestly, they really didn't need to cut time for the match, because like they went almost an hour over anyways because of the main event and Roman Reigns. It was literally almost 10 because I'm CST, Central Standard. I live in Texas. It was almost 10 when the pay-per-view ended, and I was like, oh wow, this is a long main event. I mean, Gunther versus Priest ended at like 9, which is like 3 hours after the pay-per-view started. So I was like, oh wow, this is gonna be a long pay-per-view. Good thing I didn't have to go to work till 11. By the way, unrelated, but I went to work very hungover and very tired. So today hasn't been a good day. Again, I'm recording this the day after, and I'm gonna try and hopefully I have it out by today. We'll see. You'll know because the video will be uploaded today or next week. We'll see. I'm doing bare minimum editing on this. Like, no editing. Because I want to just have it dropped as soon as possible. Hi, Santi Zap. Anyways, Bron Breakker versus Sami Zayn. Good match. I would put it at the bottom of the list. I guess I'll have a list at the very end showing, like, how I rank these matches. I would have this at the bottom, and I guess to rank Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley, I would have that match. I would have that third to last, I want to say. Yeah, third to last. And we will be getting into my third favorite match of the night being Logan Paul versus LA Knight, because they cooked. I was unfamiliar with your game, LA Knight. I knew you were a solid wrestler, but I didn't know you hooped. I didn't know you hooped. I didn't know you knew real graps like that. But let's get into it. Alright, so like I said earlier, graps, hoops, crazy good match. For pure in-ring work, for me, this is a toss-up between this match and Priest versus Gunther. Phenomenal matches, honestly. And I'm gonna say it, this had my moment of the night. LA Knight winning the US title. That's the GOAT, baby. The forever US champion. Don't if you watch the other video, like that I made that's going up soon, there's a scene in it where I said something about a forever US champion. Don't worry about that. LA Knight, that's my guy. He, I believe, is gonna hold this title to WrestleMania, where maybe he loses it to Carmelo Hayes, maybe Andrade, we'll see. But we have a full-timer as champion again, W, and again, I didn't know you balled like that, LA Knight. Damn! Neck breaker before the match starts on the announce table? Bro, man. Okay, the superplex kind of was a botch. Logan didn't rotate enough. I'm not passing judgment. I couldn't even, like, imagine doing that. So, whatever. But it ended up looking like a brain buster instead, and that kind of makes it even cooler. That moonsault off the rope outside onto LA Knight, which is where I think people are saying Logan might have gotten injured. Phenomenal. Picture perfect moonsault. That BFT, oh my god, it was the BFT is not the best looking finisher out there. A lot of people don't like it, but the second I saw LA Knight's feet leave the floor with Logan's head in his hands, I was like, that shit, baby. We did it. Went from having pitch dark matches and jobbing to a returning Bray Wyatt, rest in peace, to winning the US title at the second biggest show of the year and at one of the best pay-per-views all time. I don't care if you're a 40-year-old Attitude Era mark. You're gonna be like, well, actually, SummerSlam 2001, greatest SummerSlam all. I don't fucking care. Go fuck yourself. One of the best SummerSlams of all time. One of the best pay-per-views of all time, hands down. So that's something to add on to this. LA Knight's crowning moment is going to be etched into history. It's beautiful to think about. Yeah. But it's not the only, I guess, crowning moment, quote unquote. I know this part's a little bit shorter than the other two, but it's not. There's not that much to say, really. Great match. LA Knight won. Logan Paul's a transphobe. He was, yeah, no. After those tweets, Logan was not winning the match. Logan was cooked. Oh, I will say the spot where Logan hits LA Knight with the brass knucks, and then LA Knight's like, well, actually, BFT. I did really like that spot. That was a pretty cool spot. But again, anyways, I know this part's a little bit shorter. Not too much to talk about. Just a great match, amazing outcome, and a pretty solid build up to the match itself with LA Knight stealing Logan's car. By the way, LA Knight's entrance was amazing, and that pop was insane. But yeah, LA Knight breaking into Logan's house, LA Knight stealing Logan's car, blah blah blah. And there's a story, not too much story though. Anyways, next up, Bayley versus Nia Jax. Great match as well. Again, not a single bad match in the card. All really, really good. This is the one that had the least story, I'd say, and I'm gonna put this just above Sami versus Bron, because I think overall it was a better match and it didn't have that much story going into it though, but it does set up a good bit of story with Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton as the champion, Miss Money in the Bank. And I think Sandy put it a really good way in saying like, oh, this is like a really cool dynamic where it's like you have the champion and the Money in the Bank holder, and it's like, well, if you beat my friend who's the champion, I'm just gonna cash in on you, so you're screwed either way. I think that is gonna be a great dynamic, especially with these two. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, Tiffy's briefcase is amazing, by the way. Anyways, on to Bayley versus Nia Jax. Probably also gonna be a bit of a shorter segment, but oh well. Anyways, let's get it. Alright, Bayley versus Nia Jax. Again, great match. Not too much to say here. Bayley and Nia Jax cooked. The story wasn't the best, I would say. Going into SummerSlam, it might have honestly been the weakest one. I mean, they had a tag team match. They had like some interferences in other matches and stuff. That's kind of it. At least Sami, Zayn, and Bron had like a match, and they had a bunch of different interferences. They did a bunch of like different things with Ilya, and so I would say that match had the second least. This one had the least, but again, made up for it in having time, unlike Sami versus Bron, and making use of it, having a great match. The Tiffany fake cash-in attempt, because I'm of the mind, and I think it's confirmed, this was planned by Tiffany and Nia Jax. Tiffany was supposed to come in, fake cash in, act like she was gonna cash in, and then that would give Nia Jax time to, you know, beat the shit out of Bayley. And that's what happened. This ended up with Nia Jax hitting not one, but two back-to-back bonsai drops. By the way, Bayley kicked out of that. What's it called on her? The Annihilator? I think it is. That is insane. When I saw that, I was like, oh my god. No, I thought Bayley was gonna win. Once I saw her kick out, I was like, oh my god, Bayley's gonna win the match. And this is no hate to Bayley. I actually really like Bayley. I was so happy when she won the Rumble. I was going for her the whole time, and I was so happy when she beat Io at Mania. Even though I also love Io. Io is one of my favorite wrestlers right now, but Bayley wasn't the best champion, and that hurts to say. And that's not her fault. That's not her fault. It was booking. And I already have a video talking about the booking in WWE, and I already have a short on my thoughts on Triple H, but he did make up for it yesterday for SummerSlam. So maybe he's not as big of a fraud. only 2 Fs. Triple fucking fraud Helmsley. But Triple H, I gotta say, get DIY those tag team belts back and don't have the Usos win them, and you're down to 2 H's and 1 F. Triple fraud Hurst Helmsley. So listen to me, Triple H. Trust me. But anyways, back to Bayley versus Nia Jax. Great match. They were going crazy, and I must say it, Nia's not bad. I will be the first to admit, I was super critical of Nia Jax when she came back. I didn't like her. I didn't like her wrestling. I didn't like her promo work. I am totally on the opposite end of the spectrum now. I love Nia Jax. She is one of my favorite women's wrestlers, or wrestlers period, really. Her promos have me dying. She is so funny. And then her serious promos, they still need a little bit of work, but they're getting there, and that's really all that matters. Her in-ring work, she can hoop. She's pretty good. She's been putting on some really good matches, like with Becky, the one she just had with Bayley, Rhea, and Mia Yim or Mi Chin. She's had some great matches, so I'm excited to see how they book her moving forward. The women's division on SmackDown is pretty strong, especially with Charlotte Flair, who's probably going to take the belt off her. As Santi says, 3 things in life are guaranteed: death, taxes, and Charlotte Flair winning a world title after coming back from injury. I'm just saying, Santi Yap may not be yapping when it comes to that, but we'll see then. Anyways, like I said, not too much to say about this match. Really good match, not the best story. Great outcome though. Definitely helps start off the new layer of King and Queen of the Ring getting their championship matches at SummerSlam. So next up is going to be Drew McIntyre versus my GOAT King CM Punk, the best in the world. I'm going to say it. Fuck all of y'all who were questioning the legitimacy and throwing washed allegations at my king, the GOAT, the best in the world, the straight edge savior, the guy who gave John Cena a 5-star match. They don't mean anything. Fuck you, Dave Meltzer. CM Punk. So let's get into it. Okay, so I'm gonna be as unbiased as I can. This match does have my GOAT, CM Punk, and so I'm gonna want to put it as the best match of the night, but I won't. It was the second best match of the night. There are people who are gonna say it was the best, but in ring work, it was good. I'm not gonna put this match down at all. Again, amazing matches all night. What? But the storytelling in this match, amazing. And I like how they kind of took CM Punk telling Drew McIntyre, you dumbed yourself out of position. You're the reason you keep losing because you kept being dumb and putting yourself in bad positions. Just for Punk to do the same thing after he GTS Seth. It was amazing. And the match overall, it seemed pretty hard hitting. People were like, oh, Punk seems kind of gassed. I don't care. Fuck you. Punk cooked. Drew cooked. Seth, amazing job as special guest referee. So, for that, again, this match, second best match of the night. The story leading into this match. Oh my god. Feud of the year. Goodness gracious. Feud of the year. I don't care. Fuck the final boss. Fuck Roman and Cody. This feud cooked. people wanted this match to main event. Probably should have, to be honest. Cody versus Solo, it's not rated too highly on my list personally, but whatever. This match was amazing, and I'm not gonna drizzle honey on it too much, though I probably should. Call me Dunkin' Donuts the way I could glaze this match for an hour, but it was solid. Punk had a very good showing. I'll admit it myself, I was a bit scared he might get injured again, but he didn't. He put on a great show with Drew McIntyre. The storytelling in the match was great. What it should have been at Jay versus Jimmy at WrestleMania, story match. Let's not get into that because then I'm gonna get mad. Anyways, Drew versus CM Punk had an amazing build-up, and it didn't disappoint. That is the best part. This match could have heavily disappointed. We had a match last year that was a blood feud that had some pretty solid build-up, and then disappointed. Flash on screen. Ronda Rousey versus Shayna Baszler. Ooh, I know. I'm so sorry. Please stop screaming and crying. I understand. Awful match. I didn't want to make you relive it, but I had to bring the point up. Anyways, this match delivered, and it didn't just deliver. It set up more from the feud, and it helped set up more CM Punk and Seth, Drew and Seth, Drew and Punk, Punk and Drew. It's me. I might hop in the ring too. I don't know. Maybe I'll catch you there. But we will see. Hey, Santi's app just uploaded. I hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't see this and is like, DMCA. I doubt it. Santi seems like a cool guy. Hey, Santi, if you're watching this, you're not. But if you are, hi. Don't ask why I'm using your picture. Just know, oil up. And maybe next time I won't. But anyways, to cut it short there, because I'm going to need this video is getting pretty long, and I'm going to need more time for Priest, Gunther, Cody, and Solo, and then the last few minutes being Roman, Glaze. So, Drew versus CM Punk, I'm going to say my number 2. Maybe I'm trying a little too hard to not be biased, but great match, great story, have so much build going on. So once at the end of the video, you'll see how I actually rank them. But so far, this one's looking like it's going to be number 2 on the list. And on to Damian Priest versus Gunther, which, spoiler alert, number 1, best match of the night. Oh, I'm going to glaze this fucking match. I'm sorry in advance. Anyways, let's get into it, baby. Alright. Damian Priest versus Gunther. Again, can't stress enough. Best match of the night. The lead up into this, amazing. Wasn't that long. Cause Gunther and Priest had seen each other a few times, but in between King and Queen of the Ring and SummerSlam, we had 3 pay-per-views. So it was kind of like Priest wasn't really feuding with Gunther. Gunther was just circling the championship. Priest had his match with Drew at Clash of the Castle, and then he had a match with Seth at Money in the Bank. So those were the feuds going into those months. But after Money in the Bank, Priest versus Gunther was cooking. Gunther was out here like calling people straight trash, and man, he helped get Priest over by a mile. People were getting behind Gunther, or not Gunther, I'm sorry, they were getting behind Priest like hotcakes. They wanted Priest to win, and I'm gonna say it worked on me. I wanted Priest to win. However, Roll the clip. Oh wow, that was a pretty good clip, guys. Whoa. Oh, I wonder who made that. I made that. Wow, I'm pretty fucking good. What? Anyways, like I showed, I didn't have faith, and to be honest, I can't bet against Gunther. He's the ring general. So, going in, I wanted Priest to win, but him losing was kind of the only outcome that I actually saw happening, whether it be winning clean or by how Gunther actually won, which was having Finn Balor cost Priest. Though I will say, I do really like that happened. The story we're getting is amazing. By the way, I didn't finish the video one time. This is I was really tired from work, and then yesterday I was like really busy all day after work, and so I didn't finish. I'm a fraud. Triple H, we're one and the same. We're both frauds. But the episode of Monday Night Raw was pretty good. So anyways, with the story we're getting now, with Finn taking over the Judgment Day and adding in Carlito as Timu Priest, since they're both Puerto Rican, and Liv as Timu Rhea because she's a blonde woman, by the way. I'm not gonna be like super shocked if you don't know. Rhea's not a natural black-haired woman. That is dyed. Honestly, if you couldn't tell it's dyed, that's on you. But yeah, no, it's dyed. She's blonde, dude. Fucking Christ. Anyways, they're the Timu Judgment. Oh my God, they're Timu Judgment Day now. Sorry, hold on. Okay, put my phone on vibrate. They are Timu Judgment Day now, and I mean, Priest kind of fucking murdered them all by himself. Priest did numbers on them, and then Rhea comes in, obliterates Liv, and then Rhea headbutts JD, and then Priest actually just straight up fucking killed him. Priest fucking killed him. I went back and I cropped Priest's chest out and then put it over him, and yeah, no, JD got like an entire Priest torso of air. So JD McDonough is dead. But yeah, no, to actually go back to Gunther versus Priest, amazing match. Probably the best just match as a whole, like graps wise, a fucking phenomenal. And if you didn't expect that, then I don't know what to tell you. Priest and Gunther are both straight up hoopers. The story there was already pretty solid with Gunther and Priest, but then to add in Finn Balor and the implosion of the Judgment Day, leading us to have Judgment Day 2.0, and now the Terror Twins as well. I mean, Triple H cooked there. If only he cooked with having DIY retain against the Bloodline, but let's not get into that. So, again, that's if I'm ranking them, I'll have that at the very end because I want to do minimal editing. By the way, I'm not doing anything that I said earlier. I'm not putting anything on screen. This Demon Zap is all you're getting. I'm sorry. I'm lazy as fuck. I want to get this video up now because I'm about to finish it. I just got to put the music in. I want it over. I'm going to do the rankings. That's it. That's all that's getting edited. Anyways, best match of the night. On to third, second. I'll decide when I'm ranking them in a bit. Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa as the main event, and then after that I will talk about Roman's return and a little bit more about Monday Night Raw, since they are kind of intertwined. It's the Raw after SummerSlam, and if I was talking about Mania, I would talk about the Raw after Mania as well. So we'll talk about that, and maybe it's a good thing I waited till today to upload the video. I get to talk about the Raw after SummerSlam. I'm coping, but anyways, let's get into the main event. Then we'll do Roman. All right. Okay, so Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa as a match, pretty good. It definitely needed the bloodline rules. It's just a no DQ match, dude. It is just a no DQ match. Let's be real here. They have so many names for it. No DQ, Extreme Rules, fucking TLC. Although, I mean, TLC kind of has a different set of rules, but even then, at the end of the day, it's just an Extreme Rules match. I know it's like the win condition's a bit different. You know, same with Last Man Standing and like Falls Count Anywhere. They're all just no DQ matches with a stipulation. Street Fight? You're seriously? The only thing that changes is now they're wearing jeans. And even then, that doesn't happen every time. So, yapping aside about the stupidity of just having like 50 different names for one stipulation, it was a pretty solid match. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the worst. I would say this is the worst in Cody Rhodes' title reign, match quality wise. And I mean, of course, for this match, you don't give a shit. You know Solo's not winning, and you know what you're here for. You are here for Roman Reigns' return. So, and it's like, what were you expecting? The Bloodline interfering in the match. If you didn't expect Kevin Owens and Randy to come out, that's on you, because I feel like that was pretty obvious. Cody was never gonna lose the belt. That's not happening. Solo, I'll give him some flowers. Give him some fucking dandelions. His character work has been phenomenal, and it is what helped make Roman's return so big and so special. And again, so I'll give him props for that. I just still don't believe it, dude. If you, Triple H, I kid you not, in that entire time, because you didn't think about it, that entire time did not book him in a single match besides against Kevin Owens, and Paul Heyman did quite literally everything but pin Kevin Owens for Solo. I can't believe Solo if they're not willing to let us believe Solo by having him like squash somebody, some NXT level up jobber dude. If he won a singles match by himself, I would have had some faith in Solo. But they didn't, and that's why I couldn't get behind him this entire time. So, that aside, again, I'm not shitting on this match, and there was not a single bad match at SummerSlam. It was a good match. I wish they had used the no DQ stipulation a little bit more, but whatever. Tongaloa botch, haha, funny. Though I will say, guys, he had a fucking eye patch on. This dude cannot see through with only half his vision. His depth perception is dog shit. I kind of understand, but man, do I feel bad for him. Jacob Fatu, I hope his injury is kayfabe, because if it's not, you're gonna see the biggest crash out on all of social media if the Bloodline has to relinquish their titles. But anyways, I'm done with that. There's not too much to say about the match. Solid match, but that's not what we were here for. We were here for Roman's return. Put your ones up in the air and acknowledge the original tribal chief, everybody. Please, right now, put the ones up. I wasn't Team Roman in WrestleMania, but that's not to say I didn't like Roman. I mean, I think it's pretty clear he did just about everything he could as champion. There were some matches that I definitely wanted, Roman versus Bobby being one of them. Roman versus Andrade could have been a very good match. Another Roman versus Seth match, but at that point you have to have it end in a note or in a disqualification, because Seth can't really win that off Roman, and Roman just, I don't know. I don't think Roman can beat Seth, to be honest. He never has, and
possibly they'll end their careers with him never having beat him, but I don't know. Personally, I didn't see Seth beating Roman, but if you did, that's fine. I guess he was up there in contenders. But yeah, no, Cody, I'm sorry, dude. You're still really cool. I like you. You're one of my most favorite wrestlers today, but Roman's aura. Oh my god, Roman's aura when he came back, dude. I will say this, WWE booked his return phenomenally. Jesus Christ. Like, having the build-up with Solo being the quote-unquote tribal chief, and like everything with Paul Heyman, and then like having this big build-up of like, oh, is Roman gonna come back? And Solo talking shit, and Cody being like, you're not the real tribal chief, Solo. And it's just, it was so well done, and I'm so glad that I watched it live. So Roman's return was so amazing. I mean, to be fair, it's getting compared to stuff like Punk's return and Edge's return. It's not anywhere near as good as those. I'm gonna say that now. It is not. Punk's return was after a 10-year absence from the WWE in a Chicago arena at a Big Four pay-per-view to end the show. Edge came back from fucking retirement and a career-ending injury. I don't think those are getting topped probably ever, but Roman's was pretty good. It was pretty damn good. I really enjoyed Roman's return. I think his new entrance music is pretty good. I wasn't expecting them to change it, but I mean, whatever. I like it, so we'll take it. And I think that Roman, we know Roman's a babyface. WWE like internally says Roman's a babyface. I guess this is gonna be one of those where like, don't question it, don't question it. Don't question Jay going back to the bloodline. Don't question Sami going back to the bloodline. Just enjoy the process and let Triple H cook, guys. He always lands the plane. Let him cook. If Jay and Sami win the tag titles, I'm going to blow a hole in my brain. Anyways, that's about all I'm gonna say from that. Although I will say I am definitely surprised Jimmy and Paul didn't show up with Roman, but I feel like we might end up seeing them next week, if not the week after. So we'll I mean, I guess we'll see, because this is going out. This is dropping on Tuesday. I'm gonna have this out before NXT starts, I promise. So Roman's return, I will have it as its own separate thing, and to briefly talk about the Raw after SummerSlam. Great matches, amazing building onto the stories we started at SummerSlam. Kind of got some closure on a few things as well. Wyatt Six versus Gable, phenomenal match, amazing debut from American Made, which was a lot of people are saying Team Gable would have been better, and I do agree, but to be fair, I think that's that's poking the hornet's nest of too close to Kurt, and I think American Made fits with Gable being Gable having been part of American Alpha with Jason Jordan, who dude, what are you doing? You didn't do anything to stop Bronson Reed from killing Seth. What the fuck, Jason? Bro, I was expecting him to like Superman the suit and like take off the straps and hit a fucking suplex. Bro, did jack shit. But yeah, American Made, pretty solid debut. They did lose, of course, but someone had to lose the match, Wyatt Six, Loomis is a hooper. I don't know what anyone was expecting there. Rowan hasn't lost a single step He is great, and Joe Gacy's always been good. I loved his matches down in NXT. So I'm happy with everything that's going on in WWE right now, and hopefully Triple H continues to cook and doesn't have Sami and Jay win the tag team titles, even though they do. Next week we have Sami versus Bron in a 2 out of 3 eliminations match. I am so hyped for that. But anyways, that's the end of the video. I'm gonna have like a few seconds here just to flash the rankings on the screen, and then it's gonna cut to my outro. So have a good day. Later.